is my honor to present King Kion!
Meet Kion, son of Simba and Nala. We see him in the first episode of The Lion Guard. He is also Kiara's little brother, and over time, he became one of the strongest lions in the Pride Lands. But how did he achieve all of that? And are there things about Kion that we missed during the series? He has been through a lot, from the leader of the Lion Guard up to the king of another pride. With lots of friends, but also with lots of enemies. With so much happening in his life, some parts of his story might have been overlooked. And I'm here to tell you all about them. We first meet Kion as the playful little brother of Kiara, with no intentions of being a leader.
What are you gonna grow up to be, little brother?
Happy?
We often see Simba worry about him because he wasn't very responsible at first. Simba's childhood had been shaped by betrayal and all sorts of problems due to his uncle Scar, who had made him think that he had killed his father, which probably shaped him into being a little more harsh on Kion sometimes. But Kion's mother, Nala, is always genuine and often gives very wise advice. We don't see Kiara and Kion together very often, but whenever Kiara was in danger, Kion came as fast as he could to help her. Kiara had always been more responsible and was preparing for her duties as queen, while Kion was always playing with Bunga and only thinking about fun. They did this since they were little kids, which even made Zazu worry. We don't see Zazu much around Kion in the Lion Guard, probably because Kion had Ono during the series, but when he was younger, Kion got himself into some trouble sometimes. Luckily, Zazu was keeping watch like he always does, and saved Bunga and Kion just in time from crocodiles.
Zazu?
I expect it's merely an oversight on your part, poor.
But this all changed when Kion received the roar of the elders, making him the leader of the Lion Guard. He knew he had to be more responsible since all the animals in the Pride Lands were counting on him now. This Lion Guard had always been a group of 5 lions who were the protectors of the Pride Lands. But Kion had another idea. By choosing the strongest, the fastest, the bravest, and the keenest of sight, because he didn't choose any lions except for himself to be on the guard. The first member of his guard became Bunga, just a small honey badger, but in Kion's eyes, the bravest of the Pride Lands. When Simba heard this, he told Kion to choose lions for his guard, but of course, Kion didn't listen.
The Lion Guard has always been made of lions.
So, his second member became Ono, the keenest of sight.
Common knowledge, really.
The next member became the friendly hippo Beshti, the strongest of the Lion Guard. Then, the fastest of the Pride Lands, Fuli. And of course, we later meet Anga as the new member, but we'll get to that later. It was a good thing that Kion had gotten the roar, because new dangers kept on coming. He had to stop Janja and his clan many times, but Janja didn't have the smartest members on his guard, so this mostly was an easy job for the Lion Guard. Kion was also a great leader and knew how important it was to protect the Circle of Life. He even tried to tell that to Zira when she was trying to steal Jasiri's watering hole.
I'm on the side of the Circle of Life and the animals who respect it.
Zira demanded Kion to join her group, but Kion refused as he didn't like the way she spoke, saying that lions were more important than any other animal. Zira trapped Kion and tried to convince him he couldn't use the roar on her group, telling him that was the way Scar had lost his roar.
He lost the roar. Forever.
You're talking about Scar.
That's right.
But when the rest of Kion's guard arrived at the scene, Bunga made him realize that this just wasn't true, because you only lose the roar if you use it for evil.
That's not why he lost it. It was because he used it for evil. Remember Rafiki's paintings? Of course.
Therefore, Kion used the roar to blow Zira and her evil lions out of the Outlands, and Jasiri got her watering hole back. But this isn't the last time we see Jasiri. Because Jasiri was a friendly hyena, often teaming up with Kion to stop Janja and his clan, especially when Scar returned in his fiery spirit. When Jasiri heard the news, she didn't hesitate to help. She immediately set up a resistance within the hyenas that would help to stop Scar's plans. But how is it that Scar even returned? Because Kion played a big part here as well. We have often seen Kion talk to his grandfather, Mufasa, in the sky, and later we see him talk to another lion spirit as well. But Kion wasn't the only one that could hear lions of the past, because the royal Mjuzi Rafiki and upcoming royal Mjuzi Makini could also hear the lions of the past with the help of their Bakura staff. But one day, when Makini asked Rafiki about the lions of the past, she asked if there was also a way to hear the evil lions of the past. They had someone listening to them in secret. This was Ushari, the one that later completed Rafiki's explanation of how to bring back an evil lion of the past. In this case, it was Scar. But he needed something from Kion to do so. Scar had to be brought back by Kion's roar of the elders at the volcano, and with that, throwing a Bakura staff into the volcano. Scar led all the animals of the Outlands to team up against the Pride Lands, except for Jasiri, because she was on Kion's side and respected the Circle of Life. Eventually, Kion got to defeat Scar, but not without a price, because Scar had a trap planned for Kion. When Kion entered the volcano, Ushari had hidden himself in a corner. When Kion was about to speak to Scar, Ushari bit him in the eye, leaving Kion with a scar that looked like the mark of evil. But Kion wasn't the only one that got hurt during this fight, because his friend Ono had gotten some damage to his eye. He had jumped into the volcano to save Bunga. The wounded Ono and Kion went to Rafiki for help, but Rafiki told them they had to go to the Tree of Life to get healed. But now that the Lion Guard was missing the keenest of sight, Kion added a new member to their Lion Guard. So that is where Anga joined the Lion Guard and helped them on their journey to the Tree of Life. But the Lion Guard still needed Ono, so Kion made him the sixth member, as the smartest of the Lion Guard. But there was someone else that joined their journey to the Tree of Life, because Makini also went with them to the Tree of Life. This is where Rafiki had met Makini, and he thought it would be a good idea to send her with them because she had been there before. So together they set off on their long journey to the Tree of Life. They made lots of friends, but also lots of enemies on their way. These enemies were angry at them, and they followed them to the Tree of Life and all teamed up together to get back at them. But luckily, the Tree of Life also had a group of protectors, because here we meet the Night Pride, protectors of the Tree of Life. At first, the Night Pride was able to handle these enemies easily, but after a while, the group got even bigger and bigger. But luckily, Kion and Ono were slowly getting better. Ono's healing was easy, but Kion needed some more time. After a while, Kion went to Sika Escarpment, where the spirit of Ascari lived on. This was the first leader of the Lion Guard, the one that had discovered the roar and knew all about it. And Kion came there just in time. While Ascari was teaching Kion all the ways he could use the roar, a big attack on the Tree of Life was taking place. Anga went to get Kion back to the Tree of Life, and with all the new things Kion had learned from Ascari, he defeated all of the enemies. He could now control the roar and use it more precisely. After Kion had sent all the enemies away, Queen Rani asked him to stay.
Now I know why Queen Jana was so happy to have the roar return to the Tree of Life. And now that it's here, you should stick around.
But before Kion could make his decision, the Tree of Life got some new visitors, because Jasiri had teamed up with Janja and traveled all the way to the Tree of Life to warn Kion about a new danger.
It's Zira. She and her pride of evil lions are back.
What?
Zira and her evil lions had returned to the Outlands. Kion and his guard immediately set back on their journey to the Pride Lands, but when they finally got there, everything had been solved already. A lot had happened while he was away. Because Zira and her evil lions had attacked Simba's pride many times, it was Zira's idea to send her son Kovu to the Pride Lands and let him kill Simba when he wasn't expecting it. But to her surprise, Kovu fell in love with Kiara and chose to stay on the good side. Because when Zira's final attack took place, Kiara and Kovu jumped in between just in time to stop them. Kiara made all the lions realize that there was no need to fight, and they all made peace, except for Zira. Zira tried to attack Simba again, but Kiara jumped in between, and the two tumbled down the rocks. Zira found herself hanging above a cliff with a rushing river. Kiara offered her a paw to save her, but Zira refused her help and fell down the cliff, ending her circle of life right there. According to Kovu, this was what happened while Kion and his guard were away, and this happens to be the exact same thing as what happened in The Lion King 2.
Zira has completed her journey on the Circle of Life.
Huh? What?
She has?
So that means that Kion wasn't in The Lion King 2 because he was healing at the Tree of Life. But something else had happened while Kion and his guard were away. While they were at the Tree of Life, a new lion guard had emerged. Kovu's sister Vitani had set up a new lion guard. After some arguing and even a competition about who was the best lion guard, Kion made a wise decision. Because when Vitani dared to fight him even without the roar, Kion knew that she was the fiercest. Because Askari had taught him that only the one that could let go of the roar completely would be able to truly master it. Therefore, he passed on the roar to Vitani and made her the leader of the Lion Guard. But when Askari saw this, he knew this meant Kion had truly mastered the roar, so he gave him the roar again and told him and his guard to go and help the Tree of Life. Therefore, they went back to the Tree of Life and became members of the Night Pride. Since that moment Kion and his guard first arrived at the Tree of Life, a lot had changed there too, because their old queen, Queen Jana, had completed her journey in the Circle of Life and passed on the throne to her granddaughter Rani. Kion started to like Rani during his stay, therefore his role at the Tree of Life got even bigger when he returned, because he also became king, ruling the Tree of Life with Rani. Their love for each other was part of how Kion healed, and it helped Rani to learn how to trust outsiders from now on. Kion's journey shows how much he grew as a leader, friend, and protector, but it also makes us wonder, was giving up the roar to Vitani the final step in Kion's growth, or did it mean something even deeper? How did becoming king with Rani change Kion compared to when he led the Lion Guard? And what challenges do you think Kion and Rani might face in the future? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed Kion's story, make sure to hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next one.